All right, rings. Joyce. All right, Priscilla's right there. She's not in the background, but yeah, they're kind of just. I guess they're not. I have to cover those up. But she's right there. Fritzy was there yesterday. She's out of camera. I guess they don't want to be YouTube stars. Giving their celebrity a break, whatever that is of a celebrity that they have. Of course, they have my Instagram account. They take that over. All right, so this is Captain Nemo. I'm not aware. It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And so go into some of those energies. That'd be a fun one. And Darpa, the Men in Black. Darpa obviously is an AI energy, artificial intelligence that's here. Basically an alien entity that's living among us. Building all these bizarre technologies connected to the secret space program and so on. So Priscilla's trying to fly. Too funny. I wish it was on camera, but you can't. Yeah, Darpa is a fun. It's basically mind control. It's built into it. Of course, they're not going to advertise that. I think some of the attacks people get mentally is coming from Darpa. So a DARPA drone, something like that. So it doesn't mean it has to be seen in our dimension. Obviously, for a average person, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But everything's kept so secret. Also, feels like DARPA does play a role in shifting our reality, our dimensions, so we don't remember things. Of course, I talked about mind control already. There she is. Okay, I'm making a move. I told you she was there. Yeah, Fritzy is sleeping on my clothes. She's sleeping in the closet right now. She's at astral meeting right now. I don't know what she's doing. All right, so look at that in the background. It's still being used. And also Kirtland Air Force Base. It's in New Mexico. Has a lot of energies there for it's basically UFO territory, basically alien territory. There was a story about that, about how there were UFO sightings and all that was being recorded. Always some guy, I forget the story on it, but someone picked up on the radio broadcast, and of course, I think he called them and told them about what he found. That's probably not a good idea. So anyway, of course, the Men in Black are connected to all those. There's always different versions of the Men in Black. But they're definitely still in operation in some form or another. So it connects basically to the DARPA energies. But just whatever your intuition is telling you, I'm sure they're all here warm and fuzzy here to help us. It'd be nice if humanity was shift their energies to more, healing all of this. The Air Force Base is all reptilian, and obviously there's more to it than that, but a lot of it's reptilian. Everyone's some tall white energies there. Tall whites are there to make sure we don't blow ourselves up. That's part of it. It's probably more to it than that, but obviously they're not going to tell us all. Of course, Dulce. So this is Kirtland Air Force Base is connected to Dulce in some form or another. Obviously, maybe not so much now, but in the past, I think Dulce is still active too. Maybe not as much as it was before, but it's still rolling. So at least that's the vibe I'm getting from it. As I was talking about, we have private sessions. You have the schedule. You have a shop here. I'm still in the middle of May. Same situation here. Webinar. Yeah, social network behind the scenes. Actually, Captain Nemo. Energies. Let's see. Something about him playing it's like Indian. There's him playing his organ. It's pretty creative when you think about it. But yeah, this is Jules Verne. wrote the story on it. So it's just you know, there is a reality where all this exists somewhere deep in the sea. So of course most of this is Disney stuff, but there is a book obviously that's written on it. It's just very advanced, underwater adventures basically. And it does exist. People have had incarnations with it. It might not be remembered that much right now, but as you open up, the minds of the many, things are starting to change. So at least this is a fun, kind of a fun connection there overall. I haven't seen the movie. I know of it, but I've never really seen it. But there's not much on the book itself. Of course, I think that's part of the book. That's a movie poster. I'm not sure. I don't think there's much on the book. Yeah, it's not a whole lot on it. So anyway, it has a giant octopus he fights. I imagine it has a name. But that's pretty badass. Anyway, enough of that. So yeah, Darpa obviously is all his AI energy is connected to it, mind control, everything you can think of, future controlling humans and all that. Yeah, China has their own Darpa. Yeah, it's just basically they're slowly letting the future be seen. So I'm not sure if any of this is helpful to anybody, but if I'm connecting to it, there's something there they want to release or heal, or they're doing something. Also, Kirtland Air Force Base is not much to look at there. It feels like the Air Force Base is pretty much retired overall, but there is definitely reptilian frequencies around it. Obviously, they're keeping a lot hidden. Yeah, there's some Black Project stuff going on. I mean, it's New Mexico. I mean, what do you think they're doing with the place? Yeah, they're just, it feels like on the surface, it looks like nothing's happening, but underground, it feels like they have more going on. They're just not going to obviously not going to have news conferences and tell you what's happening that I'm aware of. And so interesting in Kirtland, I do feel like there's like a presidential energy there, like another presidency or an influence over the president there. Doesn't mean that's where the other president is, but I was expecting that. Yeah, some kind of, you can't. I mean, what we have there is like a puppet. So, yeah, there's some kind of, our hidden government, our shadow government stuff has an influence there. It doesn't mean it's all there, but Kirtland is definitely something. I mean, it's off the map. Nobody talks about the place. I mean, nobody cares. Yeah, it's like it's in Desertville. So I mean, it's not like Area 51 was a tourist attraction. Or Kirtland, nobody cares about. Obviously, there's not much you can do anyway if you did know something about it. There's not many UFO story as energy, but there's. I mean, it's New Mexico. It's got stuff going on. Obviously, proving on a physical level is pretty much impossible. They must be really going all out to keep all this stuff secret because they haven't had many. I don't think any leaks really that I've caught at least. So it's kind of keep around the cage, see what happens. All right, going to Captain Nemo. I probably should do Captain Nemo last, but I'll just do it first, and then maybe some of this UFO stuff. I'm not going to tell you where the ships are or anything like that. So at least to give their perspective of all this. So, all right, Captain Nemo frequencies, but maybe some activations for some people to jumpstart their ascension process or hidden memories within themselves. So. All right, blessings for you. Greetings, you. We all say the Captain Nemo consciousness. Yeah, of course, there are worlds that live under the sea. And Captain Nemo is showing of some advancements. Notice how the sea, the oceans are usually forgotten. Of course, space is not mentioned very often either. There is a lot of UFO activity underwater, but obviously you don't have cameras everywhere looking at things. You don't have a space station or underwater station that you're aware of. Without going into details of that, yes, there's many portals under the sea where you can actually transfer, other dimensions very easily because you're pretty much in a dense dimensional area already, similar to space. So for Captain Nemo, yeah, it's just more of a colorful version of all of this, of the undersea life, but to help others tap into their, hidden memories, their hidden selves. Because as you go into awakening, basically you're going to heal the oceans. You'll feel more memories of it, even alien abductions in the sea. Also, some of you have lived lifetimes at sea, and of course you don't remember it here because obviously the oceans are not exactly the most welcoming frequency. Well, it's done for a reason because if you're in the ocean for a long time, it's like being an astral or sleeping a lot. It's like living in the middle of nowhere. You start remembering a lot. So technically, the oceans are off limits. Yes, you're by the city. The city has a way of keeping you connecting. It can lock you off. But as you open yourselves up, on a spiritual level, you go out to the oceans, you can see all kinds of crazy dreams. Now, a lot of people don't think much of it, but you can connect to your astral because you're basically even on an island in the middle of nowhere out in the ocean. Depending on where you are, you can activate a great deal. Fiji is one place. There are, of course, others, but the Caribbean, to a certain level, is a lot of drug activity in the Caribbean. Fiji is a little bit better. At least Fiji is less manipulated. Of course, Hawaii is too much population there. There is a lot of activations there, but of course, they put a city on Hawaii, so obviously it's difficult to connect to what's truly there. So yeah, they build seas to shut things down also. But the ocean out, yes, if you're out in the middle of cruise ships don't work because there's too much vibration. But if you're on an island in the middle of the Pacific, even the Atlantic, even Bermuda is set up for opening yourself up. You can tap into it. Obviously, nobody is really there that's listening to this, but it's just a different place of elite energies. But it also knows what it is. At least they don't speak about it. A place of rejuvenation. Fiji's the same thing. So, but remembering your Captain Nemo lifetimes under the sea can really trigger your ascension process. Because if you're out in the middle of nowhere by the ocean, it's easier to go out of body when you get used to it. We don't have the struggles of life. So you don't have to go up and go to work every day. If every day is a vacation, and you're using that vibration wisely to tap into the unknown realms. Because an everyday job is actually there to lock you down into the physical realm. Doesn't mean you got to go quit your job and all of that, but your so-called, your livelihood and all of that, obviously it's a prison within a prison, basically. It's there to lock you down from yourselves. So not that you have to go out and quit your job, but just realize what it is and how it's anchoring you to shut yourself down. As you heal those frequencies, yes, you can still go to work and still almost walk through your work almost. You see it more clearly if you wish to do so. It's not always necessary to see everything, but some people's like, I just want to see what kind of creature this thing is. What planet did this job come from? What kind of control systems put on this? Is this an Anunnaki control system? Is it a Zeta control system? What might it be? Because work situations are, warning. They're like schools. You are warning a great deal about yourself on many levels. You might do repetitive, mundane, repetitive routine, but it's utilizing your talents. It's like being on an exercise bike. Well, it is, especially when it's helping others. It really does have a lot of benefits for it. Without going into too much detail on that level. So these jobs that the work situation, all that come from another planet. Some Anunnaki worlds, some reptilian worlds, basically when they call it livelihood, that means we're putting your world under control. We're putting your world under a grid, and that's what's currently happening now. So it's kind of like the work situation here. It's kind of like running up an escalator with the stairs moving the opposite direction. Either way. But the oceans, yes, are your friend for some of you. Some of you don't have the best memories of it. But if you clear those energies, you can connect to the oceans that are not manipulated. There are many places out there that are not, but they're out in the middle of nowhere. They're not easy to get to either, for reasons, correct? Antarctica, yes, there's a lot of vortexes around Antarctica, so of course they don't want you being there. It's another rehabilitation energy, rejuvenation. You also stop time there. Doesn't mean that all of you go there. You're gonna feel time as a different frequency. You might feel like the time goes slower there actually. And for some it'll go faster, but a lot of time it'll go slower. Not that that's much help to anybody. So, but as a being of the sea, talking to the fish, it's the sea life is your friend. It's basically like your modern nature as you know. But the sea life has such a different vibration about it. I mean, they'll really have a conversation with you for a long time. And it will connect to a certain fish. It can take you to another dimension. Animals do that too, but because if you're in the ocean, nobody's saying anything. It's just a different frequency. It's like it's hiding under the covers of your bed. It's easier to hide things. So, all right. Greetings to you. We are the Darpa consciousness. We're not necessarily a Men in Black frequency. Yes, many AI beings have incarnated on your world to better your world, but also to control it. Some are here to control. It all depends on who's controlling the creation. And a lot of your scientists are not human. Of course, you're not there to see it. But a lot of them are. A lot of aliens incarnated as scientists or your governments. Obviously, you're never going to know that because most of you are not involved with it. Obviously, the alien scientists do keep things pretty hidden. I mean, nobody notices. Nobody connects to spirituality. Nobody connects to chakras. Nobody cares about any of those things. So it's easier for aliens to just slip in, do their thing, and slip out. Give you a memory. It's like, oh, this person's been working here for like 5 6 years, and come to find out that they can actually alter your technology, put in fake memories. It's like, oh, this employee's been here for a long time. Come to find out that's an alien being, and there's several of them doing that. So there's some alien spies. There is a little bit of everything. I mean, obviously, your human race is not going to tap into this stuff for the most part. Yes, it's coasting along on its wave. But many of you are diving a little bit deeper. Yes, it might sound insane, but is it really? As you get more used to those frequencies and you feel the healing, I mean, you gotta be yourself. So dive into what you gotta be you. So dive into where you need to go with the understanding your earth, and not worry about what your humans think, because they're still, yes, primitive for good reason. It's a jungle out there, as you know. Some of you, as you dive deep into the unknown, they're there to rescue you. No, the normal people are there to rescue. I was like, what are you talking about? Other dimensions, realities, and you just talked to an alien president. What was all that about? Some of you can go way ahead of what society is ready for, but that's what you're here to do. But realize your regular people are there to keep you somewhat grounded. So that's why they're here. It's partly why the world is not fully awakened. it takes a lot. When your world goes to a higher dimension, it is a big deal. And some of you are already moving in those directions. You're slowly getting there, but you do that because society is doesn't want the world to blow up. Seriously. Well, maybe not on that level, but you can open up a reality that this world can't handle. Your population can't. It's like, wow, it's like opening up a door and all this wind blows in. Like you're on a plane. It's kind of like that. Like open up a dimension to a dinosaur realm. Some people do that. All of a sudden, you see dinosaurs here and there. You might see a pterodactyl here and there. You might see the Loch Ness monster. It's not just those beings doing it, it's humans doing it because they know those beings are there. It's like, oh, look, this person had a Loch Ness monster sighting. Well, this person allowed that reality to come in to them. So, and some of you are having your alien connections because you're opening for that to occur. They're coming to you because you're ready for it. So, and some are trying to bring in aliens and all that for just a show and tell, which is quite obvious. It's nothing's wrong with that. It's just you might be premature, it might be too early for that. But it doesn't mean you're not building the society for it. Well, yes, your grandkids start talking about more of this alien knowledge. When it's okay to say it in school, especially when many of you are writing about talking about all this. Yes, and 300 years later, people are finally taking it seriously, or longer than that. Yeah, some want the future to happen sooner when the world is far from ready. And even the people saying, I want this future, they're not always ready themselves either. You're going to hear that over and over again. But for the Darpa technologies, basically is a place for aliens to incarnate, to live among you. Is other technology companies also. So, but DARPA is a big one. That's where you can be a little bit more advanced than others. You can create the internet. You can do things like, wow, we created the internet. Wow, that was, yeah. And look now, it's all over the place. Yes, because you had help. But you are part of this, though. I mean, aliens are, of course, working with you. And some of those are future versions of yourselves. Some of those are time travelers. Especially the internet was to unlock you, help you connect more to the astral realms. Well, it goes more into the mind, as you can see. It actually is educating people a lot more. And some people are just never going to educate themselves at all. It's just the way it is. But that's not always a bad thing. I'll go into details of that. But overall, yes, your aliens are in all these tech companies everywhere. The CERN technologies, all this. Aliens are everywhere on your planet through technology to assist you into your next awakening. Yes, it's a spiritual awakening. That one takes a little bit longer, obviously, because it's not done physically. Well, technically it is, depending on how spiritually connected you are. Well, basically what you are doing right now is making the spiritual connections more comfortable for people that are starting to let go of their old ways. They'll still be physical, but less dense. Less problems, not worry about gun control, not worry about all of these things. Heal those energies. See the reptilians that are trying to take away your guns. It's always a reptilian trying to do that. It's like they dangle it in front of you. It's like, here's this gun. Hell, you can't have it. They really like doing that. I mean, if you really saw the other side of your reality, it's like, how did we fall for all this? Of course, many of you aren't falling for it, but many are, of course. All right, I must be going. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the energies of New Mexico, Zeta energies, alien disclosure energies, Black Projects energies, basically your future. So military installations. are obviously shadow government with a government approved entity, meaning that your government really doesn't control your military. Not really. They know that somebody else is kind of running it, but not making itself known. It's like the shadow government's letting your government borrow the military. Like you can, we're leasing all of this for you. So it's it's not, it's yes, it's that closed up. Does that come to alien technology? Of course, many humans they do a lot of this programming in the mind to keep things hidden. Well, for people especially who aren't ready for an awakening. So those people that are having more alien, your Area 51 disclosures, things like that, it's like they remove the blockage and now you're allowed to see. And obviously, many people aren't getting that. Because once you open your mind up, it does get kind of lonely out there. Someone's like, oh, I'm speculating about the alien connections, but I can't prove anything, so I'm just going to live my life. That's probably for the better. But for others are opening up the windows of their minds and they just see things differently. You might as well own who you are. You might as well just own it. It's like you just see things differently. Yes, people might see you as crazy, but are you there to harm anybody? No, but you are there to see things differently. And someone might call you unbalanced and all that, but what do they know? Humans are so controlled as it is. Some of you see far out realities that are just on another planet practically. And this world is nowhere near that, but they brought you here to this incarnation to open up doorways for those that are similar to you to, just astrals that's just in higher dimensional realms are just way above this Earth's understanding. So you can say the military energies are here to ground the Earth. Yes, they have agendas. They're ground the Earth. They are preparing the Earth for a disclosure eventually. Doesn't mean your government is going to say, oh, by the way, guess what? We've been hiding this whole time. But it is kind of keeping the alien energies hidden as you evolve yourselves. So it's like militarizing your society, as you slowly evolve into this new type of being. Where humans, future humans, see, yes, what you're here to do is help for, future humans where like being born here is not so difficult anymore, where you see things more clearly. Your psychic attunement is at a more advanced state. And so some of you are wondering, why are you here? Well, you're here to pave the way for that. And eventually, yes, this world has to evolve in some form. Yes, it will be physical, but will heal a lot of physical forms and connect more to your Atlantean timelines, but more mature Atlantean timeline instead of one that's out to destroy itself again. So this is a hard world to go through right now, yes, because some of you see the future. You see it all. It's very frustrating by being here, but the future that you see is being planted here for future humans to experience one day. Now, when that happens is a long time from now. But either way, what you're doing here, it's like going across the ocean and finding the new land. You've been building up for it. And yes, there are those keeping that land hidden. Yes, of course, they're not making it easy. Well, because a lot of the agenda has been put on your planet are kind of hard to reverse now. So a lot of the control mechanisms have been put here. It's all just almost impossible to heal quickly now. So, and that happens. Some put a certain mindset on society, and then it goes on for the next 2 or 3, 400,000 years. You see that with religion all the time. Yeah, who implanted those thought patterns? Who put those belief systems here? So that as you evolve, you'll see more of that. That's a complicated one to fully see on its full level. But Kirtland, it does hide a lot. There's a lot hidden on many places. A lot of these Air Force bases are not even physical. They might look physical, but they're actually alien bases. Quite a few of them are. And that one's one of them. If they have rumors of alien contact and all of that. That shows that that's where the aliens are already there. Yeah, it's all rumor. It doesn't matter. Of course, it's rumor. They're not going to just show you pictures of little green men and all that. They're not going to do that. But the rumors show you there is something there. So any Air Force base anywhere, that shows you where the alien frequencies are. Give you some idea. Obviously, the Navy is keeping a lot hidden. But even what they're making public, the public version of the UFO knowledge it's watered down, but it is kind of saying, oh, by the way, this is the skeleton in our closet. But we're not going to go into any more details of that one. It's like they open the door, this is the skeleton, they shut it. So it's like they are putting information in front of you. Maybe not the most in-depth information, but they are saying, like, we're going to call it a different name, but they're still exposing it. It says a phenomenon with mystery on it. It's like, yeah, they're talking about aliens, basically. It's like our society obviously is told just, oh, it's no big deal. And it can get very scary for some people because your government's not exactly, they're not going to talk. They'll be the last or never to talk about it. But you can always speculate, but you are bringing in aliens yourself. By your own conversation, humans are going to shoot all this down, most of them, for their own mental health for now. Well, aliens don't go well with barbecues and Christmas and, taxis and all of this. They don't really fit all of that human dynamic here. You have a spaceship. They don't have to bathe very often or at all, for that matter. And they have advanced telepathic abilities. We don't see those boxes checked on your world that much. And no war. And your world has a lot of that. So, it's not compatible with your planet yet, but you are working to have some compatibility with your alien neighbors that are, of course, everywhere. Blessings.